Alrighty. Good evening, everyone. Hope everybody's having a wonderful Monday. And we are so very excited to say hello tonight. And also, of course, wanted to pay respects to Kobe Bryant, which what a tragic accident yesterday. Of course, he, from what I know, he was on its way to a basketball tournament or camp or game with another family and other girls, which it's really sad to hear that somebody at the prime really of his life, after accomplishing so much in the first half of his life, it's lost by an accident like this. But really, for me, is brings into perspective, not only what we have been talking for a long time, that we have to really embrace and be so very grateful for everything we have today, but also to give it our best. One of the things that I kept thinking as I read more about it or I hear about it, because if you're on social media or you're exposed to any media whatsoever, you're going to hear it and you're going to listen and you're going to watch. And of course, they're trying to pay tribute to somebody that has lived a life of pursuit of excellence in many ways. Of course, there's no perfect person, right? He had mistakes, like a lot of people and a lot of us have mistakes. But one of the things is that we learn from something that has happened to him, and now brings exposure to his life. And people pay attention. It's interesting that when you pass, you really, your life gets seen under a completely different light. So one of the things that I keep thinking about as I talk to people, and I had several conversations today with people that are very successful, is as I was talking to James Katina on the phone, which he couldn't join us tonight because he's out in Florida with his family and brothers, and he was a super fan of Kobe Bryant, right? His whole family followed him. He was telling me about an opportunity they had to go watch him at his very last game in Memphis, and the whole family went on a coach bus to watch him. And he was telling me that he took a phone call today from one of his sons, and he was mourning and crying, and it's really because they followed the life of this champion for so long. And I told him, brother, champions mourn champions, right? Champions grieve for champions, because we understand how hard it is to reach those levels. We understand the amount of blood, sweat, and tears that it takes to reach any level of success. More so a level of success like he did, right? Just imagine the hundreds of thousands of hours spent practicing, spent studying, spent honing his craft, which the average person doesn't want to. And it really moves me, because it's like, I want to live a life of excellence. I want to, when I leave this planet, I want to know that I've given it my best, that I've given it all to help people achieve success, and that they have not given up along the way because of something I did or something that I at least try to do to help them. And this is something that I think about a lot after achieving a certain level of success, where my family needs are taken care of, but we want to really be very aware that we do this in many ways for other people as well. And that United is such an opportunity to bless other people, just like it will bless us, but that it will allow us the opportunity to go and help others. Many times when you are achieving success in something, or in business, in sports, in art, or anything else that you choose to pursue because it truly makes you happy, and that's really the main reason that you should be doing anything in the first place, is because it fulfills you to the core, and it's really a joy to do every single day. And it is because you want to pursue that happiness for yourself, but also be able to give back, be able to give value, be able to um, encourage people, inspire people. And I think, after having this long career of success, now that he was retired, from what I've read, is that he was in his journey of giving back, right? Giving back to kids, giving back to organizations, giving back with business, giving back in so many ways, which, sadly now that's interrupted. So wherever you are in this journey of success yourself, wherever you are in this journey of really owning the mere fact that you have chosen to build a business for whatever reason it is, because all of us have our different whys, right? All of us have our different motives. All of us have a different pursuits. But what we share in common is that we deeply care for people. We deeply care for the success of people, and that we want to inspire them to go achieve that success, that we want to be that marker of excellence, so that people can look up and say, man, I want to try to be like that, right? And that was him, right? He was, imagine how many kids watched him play and said, oh my God, I want to learn basketball because I want to play like that guy, right? I want to be that. And it maybe even saved many people from making the wrong decisions. And that's really, as you achieve success in anything that you have set yourself out to do, it incrementally compounds, and it starts as you duplicate yourself into other people, which this business allows us to do.
Yes.
It compounds the good that you can do in the world. Sometimes we think, man, I cannot change the world myself, but maybe you can change the world for somebody, and that somebody can change the world for somebody else, and so forth and so on. So whenever you are at that juncture in your career, in business, that makes you want to quit, or something bugs you, or you're maybe looking too much into the past, or maybe you are feeling like, oh my God, I'm having trouble doing this, but the reality is that we haven't put in the work that is needed to grow it or build it, because no business will get built by itself. Um, and the reality is that if you just choose to do your very best every single day, and granted, some days, guys, we're not going to be able to. We're going to make mistakes. We're going to maybe get a little complacent. We're maybe going to get a little lazy. It's okay. Don't beat yourself up. Just go back at it the next day. Just restart. Because at the end of the day, every single day is an opportunity for you to be good, for you to be great, for you to be excellent. And you can start growing accordingly with that. I'm reading a book called um, The Big Leap. I shared this with the leaders on Thursday. If you have a chance to pick it up, it's on Amazon. It's a quick read, but it really showcases the fact that most of us have acquired certain limits in our youth, in our childhood, that subconsciously do not allow us to move forward in the areas of our life that we want to move forward. Like you, I am sure that if I would ask you right now, and we were sitting face to face, and I would ask you, hey, would you like to achieve great success in business? Each and every one of you would tell me, of course, Carlos. What kind of question is that? Right? Well, why would you ask that? And the reality is that all of us are capable. All of us have it in us to go achieve that success. But many times, something is preventing for us to go achieve that success. And that's called an upper limit, right? It's almost like a glass ceiling that we have set from early childhood, or when we were adolescents, or at some point in our lives when we have hit something, or some circumstance, some event, something that you might not even remember right now, that is preventing you from doing that, and that in a way almost you self-sabotage your success, because you're feeling good, because the energy, the happiness is flowing through you when you are in your zone of genius. And but instead, our comfort zones are dragging us back to that zone of competence, or that zone of excellence, right? These
Right.
terms might not be terms that you understand right now, but if you pick this book and you read it, I guarantee you that you will relate to this information. You will start reading these things and say, oh my God, yeah, I know now how to move from my zone of competence to my zone of excellence and to my zone of genius, right? And so many people that have read this book, and it's such a simple, such common sense information, but that, trust me, if I had not heard it from somebody else, and it's funny how this happened. I ran into somebody that I talked to, he has an amazing business. I get called all the time for marketing tips and advice and stuff like that. And this guy calls me, and he has a very successful flooring business. He made $1.5 million last year with a very small crew and himself, which is amazing by all stretch of the imagination. No digital presence, no website, nothing, right? Just a cell phone and his ability to install beautiful looking floors, right? He only sells one kind of floor. He says, Carlos, I only sell hardwood floors. I don't sell anything else. I don't sell vinyl. I don't sell anything. I'm like, man, what you have achieved is amazing. Now, what is preventing you? Because he's like, Carlos, I want to do double, or I want to do, $2 million this next year. How can I get there, right? And I start giving them the tools and the things, and he's like, I'm scared. I was like, you're scared? But you know this, right? You've done this already. Why are you scared? It's like, I'm scared because I think I won't be able to handle it. Right? So that's an upper limit. That fear that he feels, that sense of overwhelm, that sense of not being able to handle the success is an upper limit for him that at some point in his life was programmed into his subconscious and his heart at the end of the day. So as soon as we hung up the phone, I tapped into a large group of very successful entrepreneurs that I have. And I said, hey guys, I just had this experience. I sent them a voice memo, and one of them said, have them read the Big Leap, right? And I had read it a long time ago, but I picked it up again. So I was like, hey man, I want to send you the book. And what's your address? So I ordered the book for him, sent the book to him, and I got the book myself as well to read again because I probably lost it in college or somewhere. And it's like exactly that, right? And no matter how successful you are, no matter where you are in life, relationships, business, finance, health, fitness, the upper limit is what's preventing you from going to achieve what you ideally want, because we all want something in the different areas of our lives, right? We want the best marriage we could ever have. We want to be fit, healthy, strong. We want to have abundance of finances. We want to be happy with what we are doing and enjoy it and feel purpose. And it's because, some of these things are obstacles in our way. So you want to crush through those obstacles, read that book, right? Read that book. Let's continue this journey of self-development, of self-growth, of really investing in the time, energy, and effort of, building ourselves up. Because I think this is really where the great achievements are accomplished. It was not probably, and I watched an interview that they did for Kobe today, and he said, it was not so much practice, although it was very important that I practiced nonstop, but it was patience. And it was, my mindset didn't change from one day to the other. It changed over time. And most of the time, people are not patient enough to allow for that mindset to progressively change and get to a point where it becomes instant, right? You are operating in that zone of genius that allows you to achieve great success. So lesson learned for me, be patient with myself, right? Because sometimes I am myself my worst critic. I am myself the one that is like, man, you should know this already, right? You should be able to do this already. You should have an answer ready all the time. And the reality is that none of us are perfect all the time. And we just have to progressively get there and just try to be a little bit better today than we were yesterday. That's all. That's it. So, guys, as much as I am sad about Kobe's passing, I'm inspired. I am energized. I am really has brought into perspective that I want to live my life of excellence, of giving it my best, of giving it my 1,000% in everything I do. Am I gonna get tired? And are you gonna get tired? No question. You're gonna get tired along the way. Rest, slow down, but then go back once you have recovered, once you have recharged, and then just give it your all, right? Because if we don't give it our all, then we might regret it one day. It's like, man, I could have done this better, right? I could have tried a little harder. And I think our mindset, our heart, the feeling that we have about what we're trying to accomplish changes over time. As long as you're plugged in, as long as you're continuing to be fed the right information, as long as you are looking forward, as long as you're enjoying the process and loving really the process of building people up, adding value, and growing something that you know in your heart, like I do, is the right opportunity. Ron, you want to say a couple words?
You bet. Well, I saw an interview today as well, and a couple things about Kobe that really stood out to me that I had not heard before, but it doesn't surprise me. And the interviewer was saying, what everybody considers you to be great. They consider you to be one of the greatest that has ever played the game. And how do you take that? How do you define greatness? And without hesitation, he said, well, greatness is not what I've been able to accomplish. Greatness is what I can help others accomplish. He said, because if it's only me, then I really have done very little. He said, but if I can inspire others through my work ethic, through my dedication, through my tenacity, through all those different pieces that I look forward to in terms of developing myself, he said, we have to be able to pass ourselves on to others. We have to give them something that can raise them up. And if we only raise ourselves up, that's not greatness. And I just, boy, it just really, really hit me as he was talking about that. And then, of course, talking about his work ethic. He started every day at 4:00 from 4 to 6. That's when he started his practice regimen. Wow. And he worked out 4 times in a day when he was in training. And 2 hours at a time, he would need to rest and recover in between. But his belief was that no one would outwork him. But he was very, very focused on being the best that he could possibly be. But he enjoyed the process. He enjoyed the work because he knew it would produce results. And guys, I just want to challenge you from the bottom of my heart. You have the single greatest tool, I believe, in your hands for not just being able to impact your life, but to be able to impact all the lives that you touch. Every other form of investment or starting businesses or all these other things involve risk. And Carlos, you and I have talked about this many, many times. And I think it really kind of goes over a lot of people's heads. And not that it's over their head, just that they really underestimate how powerful this statement is. But what is married with the no risk is the greatest potential for wealth creation that I have ever seen in my entire lifetime. So those two things are like oil and water. They don't mix. To be able to create great wealth, you've always had to take great risk. And what if you could have the best of both? And so I just think with absolutely renewed dedication. I mean, and Kobe has really brought a lot of these things home for me too, Carlos. We want to inspire. people to live a life of abundance, a life of success, a life of love. And maybe we need a little bit of Einstein time. We need to speed things up a little bit.
Yeah.
So I just want to encourage everybody. United is a once in a lifetime blessing. I don't think you'll ever see anything this amazing again in your lifetime. I know I never will. And I just think we need to give it the dedication and the pursuit of excellence that we want in our lives, and that this vehicle can help us produce with all these wonderful mentors and teachers that are here to help you go and create your destiny.
Thanks, my brother. And I want to end this, guys, with the video from my brother, James Katina. Wanted me to play this and say hello to everybody. Let me know if you can hear the audio as soon as it starts playing, please.
Hey, everybody.
Can you hear the audio?
Be viewed at Leaders Call. If so, I just want to say happy Monday. I want you all to know that I love you. I'm out here. Let me see if I can turn this around. You can probably see the water there. Anyway, here in Orange Beach, Florida, just spending a couple days with my wife. My brothers and I played here over the weekend. And some of you know that I'm a big Lakers fan, and probably an even bigger Kobe Bryant fan. So yesterday was obviously such a tragic situation to see 9 people perish in a helicopter crash accident. And so there are no words to describe the heartbreak and the pain. But I just want to tell you that in the midst of that great loss, so many people feeling it across the globe, I shared with my wife that I feel like I've gained some kind of perspective to move forward. Yesterday, and of course, earlier today was very difficult. I think it's just all settling in. But here's the takeaway for me. Number one, Kobe Bryant, 41 years old. Yes, still very young, had a lot of life in front of him. His sweet daughter, Gigi, 13 years old, and then the other 7. They all had tremendous dreams and potential. And so one of the takeaways for me, specifically with Kobe Bryant, is that this guy lived his life to the fullest. He really did. And he knew what his purpose was, and he was living out his purpose. Did Kobe know that it was all going to end at the young age of 41? No. Did he know that it was going to end the way it did? Of course not. But here's what we can take away from Kobe's life. He found his purpose, and he lived it to the fullest. And I just want to say to you, my brother, my sister, my fellow United partner, number one, you have everything you need to be great. And I encourage you to find your purpose. If you don't know what your purpose is, find your purpose. Live life to the fullest. Think about the ones that you love and ask yourself, who do you love? Because Kobe's life, there's no doubt that he had a great love for his wife, Vanessa, and his 4 daughters. And he displayed that in the way he lived his life. Who do you love? Find out who you love and live life to honor those people. And I'm here with my wife and my brothers and their wives. And, it's a little bittersweet, but we're choosing to live our lives to the fullest, living our purpose. So I love you all so much. And I can't wait to continue to build United with you.
There you have it, guys. From a champion to a whole bunch of champions. And that's where I want to end, guys. Have a wonderful night. Take time to meditate, think, and let's go get it. Just a couple more days till the end of the month. Love you, everybody.
Yeah. Good
Good
night,
evening.
everybody.